Attention passionate Philadelphia, EAGLES. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Philadelphia Eagles' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Philadelphia Eagles fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Philadelphia, EAGLES. Let's get to the news now, folks. We're just entering the preseason, but the buzz around the Philadelphia Eagles is already palpable. And why wouldn't it be? The Eagles, a team that has been on the rise for the past few seasons, is looking to build on that momentum. And as usual, the NFL offseason and preseason are packed with storylines that could reshape the division, influence the NFC landscape, and set the stage for another deep playoff run. The recent first preseason game, played last Thursday night, gave us a lot to talk about. Sure, the Eagles managed a 34-27 victory over the Cincinnati Bengals, but what really caught everyone's attention wasn't just the score. It was the storylines that unfolded, the performances that raised eyebrows, and of course the questions about what the team still needs to do before the regular season kicks off. Now, the game itself was exciting, a back-and-forth affair that showed some of the promising talent the Eagles have, but also highlighted some areas where they need to tighten up. The Eagles' offense looked dynamic at times, with their quarterback leading some impressive drives, but the defense, as always, was the real focus. And when you look at what's happening behind the scenes, the moves being made, and the players in the spotlight, it's clear that Philadelphia is still in the hunt for that perfect roster. The team is actively evaluating talent, trying to find the right mix of veterans and young guys, all while keeping an eye on the big picture, a potential Super Bowl run. One of the standout stories from the game was the performance of Sidney Brown, who is expected to step into a starting safety role this season. The third-year veteran has been given a clear shot to prove himself, especially with Andrew Mukuba dealing with a shoulder injury that has kept him out of action. Brown, known for his aggressive style of play, really showed that in the game. Early on, he was all over the field, tackling his brother, Bengals running back Chase Brown, with real intensity. It was a moment that got fans excited, seeing that kind of fire from a young player eager to make a mark. But as is often the case in football, that aggression comes with risks. In the second quarter, Brown collided with Cincinnati rookie Taj Brooks in a play that instantly raised concerns. Brown was flying downhill in the run game, again showing that aggressive streak that has become his trademark, but it backfired. He got tangled up, and the impact was pretty severe. He pointed to his shoulder and headed straight to the medical tent. Naturally, fans held their breath, worried about what this could mean for the Eagles' depth chart. Fortunately, after the game, Brown appeared to be okay, and the initial signs were promising. Still, that moment served as a stark reminder of how thin the margin for error is in the NFL, especially for young safeties who play with that kind of reckless abandon. The Eagles, knowing how important safety depth is, are now looking at this situation closely. They're aware that Brown's aggressive playstyle, while beneficial in some aspects, might not be sustainable over an entire season without risking more injuries. That's where the front office and coaching staff come into play. They're constantly evaluating, trying to balance raw talent and playmaking ability with durability and consistency. And speaking of strengthening the roster, one name has been floating around as a potential game-changer: Justin Simmons. Yes, Simmons, a two-time Pro Bowler and four-time All-Pro, is a player that the Eagles have been eyeing all offseason. The buzz started when NFL media's Brian Baldinger suggested that the Eagles should find him a house in New Jersey, because he's gonna be here. It's no secret that Simmons has a good relationship with Eagles defensive coordinator Vic Fangio, having played 3 seasons under him when Fangio was head coach of the Denver Broncos. That familiarity is a huge plus. Simmons himself has expressed interest in joining Philadelphia, highlighting during an interview with FanDuel's Kay Adams that he knows what to expect playing in Fangio's system, and that he's eager to help the Eagles' defense reach new heights. The connection is undeniable. Simmons knows the scheme. He's proven his ability to perform at a high level, and his leadership qualities could be exactly what the Eagles need to bolster a secondary that, while talented, has some questions at safety. With Mukuba still recovering and Brown's injury scare, Adding a veteran like Simmons would give the Eagles a safety net. It would also send a clear message that Philadelphia is serious about competing at the highest level this season, not just relying on young players to carry the load. The fact that Simmons has been campaigning for a move to Philly this offseason, and that Fangio's system fits him like a glove, makes this more than just a rumor. It's a real possibility. Now, let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture here. The Eagles have been building towards another Super Bowl appearance, and their roster decisions in the coming weeks could be pivotal. The team has so many talented pieces, but as we saw in this preseason game, there are still some gaps that need filling. The safety position, in particular, is a spot of concern. Brown's playstyle is exciting, but the injury risk is real, and Mukuba's size limitations at just 5'11" and 186 pounds make him a question mark as well. Bringing in a seasoned veteran like Simmons could not only improve the defense immediately, but also set a tone for the locker room, showing that the Eagles are willing to go all in to make this a championship season. Looking beyond just the safety position, the Eagles' roster management is always fascinating. They've been creative in how they draft, develop, and acquire talent. The addition of Jacorian Bennett in a trade with the Raiders last week shows they're not afraid to make bold moves to improve their secondary. Bennett, a young cornerback with potential, could develop into a key piece, especially if they bolster the safety position with a guy like Simmons. The coaching staff, led by head coach Nick Sirianni, is known for their strategic approach, and this season looks no different. They're preparing not just for the regular season but for the playoff grind, where every detail counts. And let's not forget the fans. Philadelphia fans are some of the most passionate in the NFL. They've seen their team come close before, and they're hungry for that elusive Super Bowl title. The energy, the optimism, and the high expectations are all part of what makes following the Eagles so thrilling. Every preseason game, every roster move, every injury and recovery becomes a part of that ongoing saga. Fans are meticulously analyzing every play, every signing, every injury update, hoping that their team will finally get over the hump this year. And with the potential addition of a player like Simmons, the narrative around the Eagles' defense could change dramatically, making them even more formidable. As we look ahead to the regular season, a lot of questions remain. Will Sidney Brown recover fully and stay healthy? Will the Eagles decide to pull the trigger on signing Justin Simmons? How will the secondary shape up once the roster is finalized? These are the questions swirling around this team right now, and it's what makes the offseason and preseason so exciting. Every practice report, every game, is a piece of that puzzle, bringing us closer to understanding what kind of team the Eagles will be this year. So, fans, keep your eyes peeled because the Eagles are not done yet. The front office is active, the coaching staff is scheming, and the players are pushing hard in training camp. This is a team that believes in itself, that has a clear vision, and that's willing to make bold moves if it means chasing that Super Bowl dream once again. The NFL season is a marathon, not a sprint, but the signs are promising that Philadelphia is gearing up for a serious challenge. The addition of a veteran safety like Simmons, in particular, could be the final piece of the puzzle, giving them that edge they need to beat the best. And now, Philadelphia Eagles fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on all these developments? Do you think Simmons will join the team? How do you feel about Brown's injury scare and Mukuba's size concerns? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Philadelphia Eagles. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Philadelphia Eagles news. Remember to subscribe, share this video with your friends, and keep that Eagles spirit alive. We're all in this together, and this season promises to be one of the most exciting yet. Fly, Eagles, fly.